a feature which is Small Business Friday, and I got to tell you, I'm super stoked because I'm not alone, and you don't have to listen to me through the wind. We've upgraded since like 6 months ago when we did this last, so I get to introduce you to one of my favorite people in the company, Amber Dollison. Come on down. Guys, this is Amber Dollison. She's not only our assistant director, but she's also our resident social media pro and digital CRM expert, and I don't know, the make it happen chick. So, well, this week, as usual, we're here to help your business, and this week we're going to be talking about your expertise, social media.
Social media.
We're also going to be answering questions live on Facebook, so if you guys are trolling around on the internet and you find us, come on down, ask your questions. And stay tuned because we're going to really start doing this next week. Next week we've got a special guest from a local business development company, as to remain unnamed for now, that's going to be joining us. And so, yeah, so it should be cool. But today, I get a question, I don't know, like 1 out of every 1 time. So I've heard it 1,000 times. And, you know, obviously we're always working with small businesses to help them improve their marketing. But the question I get all the time, one question I get all the time is, what social media services should I be using? Obviously, there are the defaults, but it's a little specific, right?
Right, yeah, it is specific. Well, one of the things that I like to help small businesses focus on is which social medias will benefit your business specifically, and also which social medias feed into each other. So you can do something one time and post it on multiple social media accounts. So that is a really good way to streamline the amount of time you spend on social media and get more bang for your buck.
That's huge. Small businesses are always looking to do more with a little less time because you're so busy accounting and trying to manage the team and still do the thing that you got into business for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Facebook is obviously the #1 thing that every business should be on. Every business should be on Facebook, but not just on your personal account or a Facebook page that you just kind of set up. You really need to set up a Facebook business account and make sure that you're utilizing all the special Facebook features that they have, that most of them are free. So that's really important.
And it's worth it. You know, at the end of the day, you have to go where the people are.
Right.
And
everybody's on Facebook.
Everybody's on Facebook. The yellow pages are obsolete. I mean, that's old news now. But even now, you can't just have a website. You can't just be present on the internet.
And with a lot of the Samsung and Android phones, the Facebook Messenger has merged with your actual text messages. So you can look up a business like from your text message app and talk to them directly. So it's very important for them to be able to do that and talk to you via Facebook Messenger. Especially
from a business standpoint, because being able to immediately respond to your clients, I mean, it's spectacular. Even if you can't do it right away, letting them get in touch with you in their way is really huge. So awesome. So once we sort of break the Facebook bubble, right? Obviously, we want to be in Facebook, but once we break the Facebook bubble, what other features, what other services should businesses be looking at?
The second social media that you need to sign up for right away is Twitter, because you can have your Facebook feed go straight to your Twitter, and then you're utilizing 2 social medias at the same time. And then the third one that I feel like is really important, especially if you have anything in your business that's visual, is Instagram. People are moving away from there are people that are moving away from Facebook all the time and sticking with Instagram because it's very visual and it's fast and it's here and it's now. So Instagram has 3 really cool features. You can post a picture, you can post a little video, and you can also do Facebook story or Instagram stories. And Instagram stories are basically Instagram's response to Snapchat, but it's very effective. And hitting those 3 areas frequently will increase your exposure on.
Well, and one huge benefit to Instagram is now it's tied into Facebook.
That's
right. So they're the same thing now.
They are.
Mark Zuckerberg is slowly taking over the world, which sometimes I'm kind of cool with. And now Instagram and Facebook are so well integrated that you can really sort of kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yes, absolutely. So you can take your Instagram posts and feed them directly to Facebook. However, I do recommend going in and editing those posts, because there's certain things that you want to post on Instagram. For example, a lot of hashtags that you don't want to post on Facebook. So on Facebook, hashtags are not really necessary. They don't do the thing that they were created to do. So Facebook is not the place to go heavy on the hashtags. That's Instagram. So go in and edit those posts.
Awesome. Yeah, you had you and I've had this conversation a couple of times really about effective use of hashtags. It's funny, right? Facebook hashtags are now just ironic, right?
Yes.
It's that fast hashtag nobody's searching for.
Exactly.
Like, oh my gosh, mommy really needs a shower, or like,
yeah.
somebody please take these kids. Not that I have personal experience with either of those, but
right.
But
yeah, in Facebook, the only real reason to use hashtags is to be ironic. In Instagram, hashtags are really important for the searching factor, so you can find things really fast with a hashtag on Instagram.
So we talked about how Instagram is very visual, but one thing I like about it is it doesn't have to be your product. It doesn't have to be just like a picture of your widget that you're selling. It can also be you hanging out with your clients.
Exactly.
If you've got a service business, taking a picture of you with your clients and really bonding with your clients or creating that relationship can be huge because it shows that you're trustworthy, and it shows. It features your client and it shows that you're really connected. So.
Well, and the pictures on Instagram can be so much more than just a picture of an item or even a picture of a person. You can use fun backgrounds and text, inspirational quotes. People love those, pictures of people talking, setup, what's coming new, sneak peeks. You can use it for coupons. You can use it for all kinds of different things that you're presenting in a visual way. And people will grab onto those things and remember
Awesome.
them.
Yeah, I agree. And here's a pro tip for y'all. When it comes to photos, it's all about context. It can't just be a picture of a thing or a picture of a person. It has to be something that's happening. Motion is always a great thing to include in your picture, even if it, not that the picture's moving itself, but that you get an idea of what the person is doing, that it's in context. And that really can make a huge standout for your pictures versus a picture of somebody's widget on the internet. So that's really good.
That's true.
Well, there's a lot of other services, and those are some
Right.
that come up a lot. So what are some sort of industry-specific services that you would recommend?
Okay, Pinterest. If you have a blog or some sort of thing where you're selling words or books or products like Etsy products, Pinterest would be a place to go for that. Pinterest is where people go to learn how to do the thing. Or to find a specific thing, like if I'm searching on Pinterest, it's usually like a recipe or an answer to a problem. So I'm looking for articles, I'm looking for blogs, magazines, that kind of thing. So if that's your product, Pinterest is the place to be. Pinterest is not the place to be if you're just selling things like mass-produced items or that's not what Pinterest is for. Google Plus, again, articles, but people aren't really utilizing that the way that Google hopes that they would. So while you can automatically post your things there, it's not a place that you want to spend too much time on. LinkedIn is great for business profiles. So you want to be on LinkedIn because you are an expert in your field, but it's not a place that you have to spend a ton of time on.
I think you hit a couple things really that are important, and it's that those secondary sites, those mass market sites like Facebook, Instagram, they really hit everybody. But those specialized sites like LinkedIn and Pinterest, they're
Right.
really about market behavior, about consumer behavior. Pinterest, people are looking for a thing. You want to be the thing that they find. LinkedIn is about leveraging expertise.
Right.
And one great way to use LinkedIn is not just showing how awesome you are, but telling other people how awesome they are.
Right.
And if you go onto LinkedIn, you get a reasonable amount of connections on LinkedIn. You're creating relationships by telling people you appreciate their expertise, and so they appreciate that, and you create a real connection, especially at a business level. So that's great for creating business connections, and also if you have. If you're an educator, or if you're good at marketing or business development, or any of those things that we also do. So it's a great way to show how many people think that you're great at it, and I think that's a really good one. So Pinterest is about do it yourself, or find things you want to share with your friends.
Absolutely. If you're a creative type person, have like a creative type business, that is a place to be. Snapchat. We get asked about Snapchat all the time, and here's my opinion about Snapchat. While it is so fun, it is not a place that people are going to go to buy a thing. So as a business, I would not spend a lot of time on Snapchat. I might have a personal Snapchat, or even a personal professional Snapchat, like a Snapchat that I use that just showed the things that I did in my life as a business professional, whatever field I'm in. But the only businesses that are really going to be able to utilize that are destination businesses or event businesses. So like if like Fiesta de la Flor, they had a wonderful couple of Snapchat filters, and they were really on Snapchat engaging with all the people that was there. And they were all talking to each other on Snapchat, and that's great, that's fabulous. But that's not necessarily going to be a real use for everybody in every business.
You know, I think you hit it on the head. It's
Specific
really,
events.
yeah, it's about what's happening right now.
Right now.
Because it doesn't exist in a minute. So Snapchat's really about something that is really, really engaging at this exact moment.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you have a business that supports that, that's great. If your business is, you know, going from business to business in a service industry, if your business is construction, watching you build a house, you know,
No.
folks are going to lose context for that because it can take a while to see progress. It's
Right.
about something that's big and exciting right now.
Well, and if you're wanting to do something like that with like just 30 seconds of your life, you know, on a or 30 seconds of your business on a continual basis, if you're wanting to do it for a product or a business or something, you should use Instagram stories.
Yeah.
It's the same idea, but it's utilized in a different way. You don't have to start from scratch building a following because you already have all of your Instagram followers, and then you just use Instagram stories. So if you've got a new product and you want to take some time to tell people how to use it, or if you are doing a thing that day and you want to take people on a day in your life, Instagram stories is the thing to use, and you don't have to build a whole new audience to do it.
You know, I think an important part of that really is that any social media, no matter what social media you're using, is interactive. It's either telling a story or is communicating with a person.
Correct.
It's really something bigger than that. It can't just be a piece of paper that you put on the internet. It has to be something more.
Yeah, well, social media, it's important to remember that social media is at first social. So when is the last time you actually purchased something off Facebook? I mean, you probably haven't.
They would love it if you did.
They would love it if you did, but that's not the point of Facebook. The point of Facebook is to build, the point of social media in general is to build a rapport with that person, to have a conversation, to start to trust them. You know, if I think about the Instagram accounts that I look forward to seeing their updates every day, they're really social, and when I comment on their things, they comment back. And when I take a picture of myself in their store or their place, they notice it right away and like it and reshare it and comment on it, and there's a conversation that happens between me and them. That's just really great, and that's important. And Facebook, same thing. If you're when you comment on something on Facebook, you want somebody to comment back.
Right.
And so as a business, that's really important to make sure that you're doing that you're having a conversation with people.
And it's something we talk about in marketing all the time anyway, is that it's not about the message you're sending, it's about the conversation you're having.
Right.
The connection that you're making is really not about what you want to say, it's about what they want to hear, or the way that you can connect with them in something that's meaningful to the person you're talking to. So social media, that's exclusively it. The message really has to be about what's being heard, not what's being said. And otherwise it's noise and people tune it out.
Absolutely.
So, well, that's fantastic. So just to recap, get on Facebook, for serious, really get on Facebook.
On a business page.
On a business page. Wait, I want to pause.
Yeah.
Because that's important. You have to have a business page. You've got a personal page, great, but your business is a whole nother thing. And when you create a business page, or you know, we're happy to do it for you if you need some help. But when you create that business page, you get access to not only your brand, but also so many features that you don't get just as a person. Reviews are huge on the internet, on everywhere, on Amazon, wherever you're selling. If somebody says you're great, I mean, you want folks to know that, and so Facebook can feed that. And also, you can get locations involved. You can, you know, really get more publicly involved for your business, even if it's just out of your house. That's okay. You still can integrate with your customers in a way that's going to be more effective.
Another thing that I would like to, another pro tip is utilize your about page. Your about page stays the same. So really take some time and make sure that you have all of your other social media links on there, your links to your website. You can update it with like specials or coupon codes if you want to, but that is a place where people are going to go. They see your feed, but then they need more information, so they go to the About page. It's not something that you should just forget about. And so many times I see businesses, or I'm on a business account, and I'm like, okay, I need more information, and I go to the About page, and it's the thing that they set up when they first set up their Facebook page, and they didn't know who they were yet, and they didn't have all the information, so, and they just left it, and they never went back and fixed it. And, and that is important.
Talking about consumer behavior, I can tell you this is the way that I find phone numbers, and I'm confident that it's the way that a lot of y'all do too, is the first thing I do is I Google the name of the business. Two things are going to come up. Hopefully you've got a Google page, a Google Places page, because that's where Google looks first. But at the top of the rankings is almost always a Facebook page for that, so hopefully you've also got a Facebook page. If you get a Facebook page, folks are going to click that. They've got Facebook already in their phone, so they're going to click that. You need to have your phone number on your Facebook page.
Absolutely.
Because I do it all the time. So
well, and there's another generation of us who I don't go to Google. I don't search Google first.
Yeah.
I search Facebook first. And I'm not going to call you. I'm going to Facebook message you.
Yeah,
and then if you don't respond, I will eventually call you if I really want the thing. But
yeah, I mean, we communicate through Facebook messages all the time, just as a business at a business level. So
default level.
It looks like we got a couple comments. You want to pull them up a little bit? Sorry, guys, the laptop went to sleep. We were just chatting away. But it really comes down to recognizing where your consumer is, and it's the same for Facebook as it is for direct communication, as it is for print marketing. What it really comes down to is you have to recognize your customers' level of communication. You have to know what they're seeing and what they're listening for. That's the most important part, is you have to connect through them, not just through you. So bear with me, it's loading, I think, and we'll get there. Like I said, we got the chatting so long that the thing popped up. So well, here, let me sneak it. Oh well. Anyway. We'll get back to it. We'll just edit that in post-production. This isn't live or anything, right?
If you've got any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment box, and we'll get to them.
Awesome.
Quickly.
Yeah, definitely. Just let us know. Post a comment. And hey, Daniel, I know that guy. He makes fantastic popcorn. So welcome to our Facebook Live for Friday. If you got any questions, definitely give us a holler. In the meantime, what would you say are two things that you have to do on social media to get engaged, to drive engagement? And let's pause for 1 second.
Yes.
She's awesome at this. Like, listen, I've been marketing for a long time, longer than I like to admit, and immediately she took it over and said, okay, you're doing this better, you're doing this better, you're doing this better. So, tell me, what are the hacks? What are the tricks?
To get more engagement on Facebook. That's the question?
That's a great start.
Well, one of the things is to ask a question, and it seems obvious, but people like to answer a question. Ask a question that people can't ignore, something that they really want to say. Another thing is to give them a sneak peek of your life or your business, your behind the scenes. So there's kind of a special aspect of it. Like, you can see something that you wouldn't normally just see in the store. So if you're a restaurant and you give a couple of behind the scenes things, or something going on in the kitchen, or maybe you show off making up a new recipe or something like that, that's really cool. People like that because it's special. So anytime you can do something special, it will help.
Make a personal connection. Make
a personal connection every time. So don't be afraid to comment first. Especially on things like Instagram. Instagram, it's very important. Whenever I find somebody new, I always go in and look at their photos and look at the things that I connect with, and I comment from our business page. I comment a lot on the things that they're doing well, and there's so many businesses in Corpus Christi, you guys, that are really doing a good job at the thing that they are good at.
I agree.
So many restaurants and retail shops and little boutiques, and we just love them.
And the getting the message out there is huge.
Yeah.
Right? And that's a lot of what we do, is we really try to help folks get the message out and run their business in a sustainable way. So, we're going to save a little bit for next week. Thank you guys for joining us, for those of you that joined us, and keep an eye. This is our soft rollout, so we're still getting over some of the tips and tricks, making it all happen. Amber, I promise next week we'll show some back room scenes of our offices. So I'll try to make sure my desk is clean. But keep an eye and like us, share us, tell your friends, because guys, we're here to help you and make sure that your business can be successful. That's our whole job. And so come see us, 5262 South Staples, 3rd floor. You can see our awesome view. Or just share us, like us, send us a message on Facebook. And if you love us, if you hate us, hey, we're here. So thank you guys so much. Next week we're going to be talking about business development, the other bucket that we do. And we're going to be talking about some outsourcing hacks that I absolutely love and that I've used for the businesses that I've had and the businesses that I work with. I always recommend it. So we'll see you guys next week. Fantastic weekend. Go have a great time. The weather's beautiful. The beach is welcoming. Enjoy yourselves. And we'll talk to you all next week.
See you next week.